in the end, and University of Sioux Falls, frankly, made some shots. But Ronnie Ladding had 20 points and 8 rebounds in that game. And when we see a post player of his stature, a freshman coming out of California, 6'8", 70 pounds, he uses his body, and he is not afraid to go at the contact. That can do two things for Dakota Wesleyan defensively. That could, one, get them into foul trouble, and number two, well, it could give Ronnie Ladding some really good shots because he's not afraid to move toward the basket and welcomes contact.
Without a doubt, when you're willing to go and create that contact, like you said, you're going to get foul calls against you, but also you have the ability to be able to be closer to the basket and have a higher quality shot than if you're trying to fade away and compensate for how far you're fading to make that shot.
Well, Dakota Wesleyan last time out lost to Jamestown. It was a close game throughout much of the first half. A few minutes decided the end of that first half and then set the tone for the rest of the game as Dakota Wesleyan ended up losing by 10 but trailed by as many as 20 in the contest.
Yeah. In this game coming in, we saw in the previous games that Dakota State has played. They played a lot of 2-3 zone. So I would expect to see that in this game here. Dakota Wesleyan's going to have to try to compensate for that zone going down low when they try to get a lot of players down low to get those points in the paint.
Got a few points in the paint against Jamestown. That was not too bad after it being almost unspoken to get points in the paint against Morningside. But rebounds. And we talk about Ronnie Ladding, have to add in Lamar Wood in there as well. There are two legitimate bigs that like to go get boards, especially Ladding. He likes to use his body on the offensive side. He likes to use his body on the defensive end as well. Boxing out, going straight up, fighting for rebounds, tipping them into a position where he can get the board or another one of his teammates. We saw him rebounding very tough against Sioux Falls, and that is something that Dakota Wesleyan has not done well in their past two games.
No, it's not, and that needs to improve, especially on the offensive side. They ended their last game with only 2 offensive rebounds, Jake. But I think one of the difference makers in this game as well is Lamar Woods, a 6'8", 200-pound senior transfer from Lakewood Region State out of North Dakota. He's had 13 blocks on the year.
Yeah, you have to watch him up in the air, and as we mentioned, the rebounding, the shot blocking, but rebounding for Dakota Wesleyan. Coming into conference play, they were sitting at +9 in their 2 conference games. Their plus-minus and rebounding margin is -11.5 per game. We're about 15 minutes away from the opening tip. Let's set it out to the coaches portion of the pregame show, where first we'll hear from Gary Garner, head coach for Dakota State, and then Matt Wilbur, head coach for your Dakota Wesleyan Tigers. This is KMIT's coverage of Dakota Wesleyan and Dakota State, live from Madison, South Dakota.
Do you want to build a new home but don't know where to start? Relax. All you have to do is contact Quality Homes in Mitchell and let them show you how easy building a new home can be. Ask Quality Homes about their turnkey pricing to make your building process as simple as possible. Don't wait any longer on your new home. Call Quality Homes at 995-6215 or go online to customtouchhomes.com and see how easy building a new home can be.
Joined in the Blarney's broadcast booth by Gary Garner, head coach for Dakota State basketball. Now, Coach, this is round 2 for DWU and Dakota State. From when you saw this team last time out, how has your team developed and maybe evolved since then?
Well, we've definitely gotten quite a bit better. You know, we were early in the year, you know, we were just not very good, period. And we're very inconsistent, and we've gotten better. We're a better team now, but we've still got a long way to go. And our goal is just to be ready to go for conference time.
Now, in your most recent game out against Trinity Bible College, you had 102 points up on the board, and that included 7 players getting into double digits, and then you go play Sioux Falls, and you hang with them. What have you seen in those games?
Well, I saw, you know, Trinity Bible's hard to evaluate because we have so much more talent than they have. And so the shots come pretty easy and so forth. I thought we played very well against the University of Sioux Falls. They had just beaten the #1 division, NCAA Division II team on the Saturday night before in Kansas City. And so the thing I was really proud of our players in that game is we'd get down and we'd come back, or get down and we'd come back. And we did that 4 or 5 times and even went ahead, you know, with like 6 minutes to go in the game. I really don't remember the time, but I know it was fairly late in in the second half.
Now, this is the second time, like I said, you're going against Dakota Wesleyan. So you've seen them before, and with that scout from the team that you saw the first time, what's the game plan going in for your team to attack the Tigers?
Well, they really posted up on us a lot last time, and that's one area we've got to do a better job of. And then, we've just been so inconsistent with our offense and defense, but maybe especially our offense, and we have gotten better. And it's just an overall picture. The overall picture was very bad early in the year, and we're starting to get better. We're starting to understand our offense a little better, and guys are playing a little better, and just everything is starting. And it seems like it's just started the last week or so of us, of the players buying in, and we're getting a little more consistency out of most of them.
Now, one guy who has worked his way into this rotation that I've noticed is your junior guard, Deshaun Kelly, as he's been one of the leading minute getters off the bench after not playing in the first two games. What has he been able to provide for your team coming in that second unit?
Well, he's extremely quick and can get to the basket, and he shoots the ball pretty good. He doesn't understand completely our offense, especially this year, but he's starting to understand the triangle, and when he does, he's going to be a lot better.
And I talked with you about several of your guys. I know you mentioned about one being a freshman. The best thing about a freshman is they'll be a sophomore or transfers
right.
in. Yeah, just as a whole, you've said you went from not being very good to you're getting better. What is it on an individual or a team basis that you're seeing is happening with this team as they're improving early on in this season?
Well, I think really they're just buying in more. I think this is so true of a lot of teams when you have new players, especially. And if you haven't had a good year the year before, I think players start questioning a little bit, what you're doing, and they don't buy in quite as much as they should. And I think our players are really starting to buy in to our system. And so I would say that's probably the number one reason we've gotten better.
That's head coach for Dakota State, Gary Garner, and this is pregame coverage of Dakota Wesleyan going against rival Dakota State on the Tigers Radio Network.
Hello, Tiger fans. This is DW Athletic Director John Hart. Despite the challenges we have faced over the last year, our programs have exceeded expectations in and out of the classroom. In order to maintain success at the conference and national level, we need your continued support. There's still time to join as a corporate partner and a teammaker member for the 21-22 season and enjoy incentives such as season tickets, apparel, and exclusive access to private events. For more information, visit our website at dwathletics.com or call me, John Hart, at 605-995-2898. Thank you, and go Tigers.
Joined in the Blarney's broadcast booth by head coach for Dakota Wesleyan, Matt Wilbur. Well, we got Dakota State again, and trying to get off this four-game skid, Coach, I have to say this looks like a much improved Dakota State team that you're going up against as opposed to last time you saw them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No doubt. And regardless of what happened with them or with us, this was going to be a tougher game than the first one. And they've had good wins, and then they've had some tough games against good teams, and have played really good teams really well in and out of our level. So they were already talking about it when we went up and played a JV game. Their varsity guys were already chirping at us that this was going to be a different game, and I fully expect it to be.
Now, Fisher Rounds and Associates brings you keys to victory, and I just wanted to ask you a pretty open question. What's most important for you for what you want to see heading into this game?
Well, I'll always say this, regardless of all the stuff we do and all the time we spend on X's and O's and diagnostics and this and that and numbers, college basketball games typically come down to what team wants it more. I mean, who is willing to die on the basketball court for possessions. Now, if there's major disparities in talent level, which this game doesn't have at all, then that stuff can get over. That stuff doesn't matter. But when you have similar talent on similar talent, it's going to come down to making some shots, and it's going to come down to who cares a lot more about getting a ball, getting a rebound, getting a defensive stop. And I think for us, with where we're at, regardless of who we're playing, that's my biggest focus with our basketball team, is where we're at there. And it's tough because you don't operate in wholesale A's to F's like on a grading scale with some of that. An A- is an F a lot of times, and so it's either you're all the way there or you're all the way not there. And with our basketball team, that's where we need to keep moving to, and I think that's where our greatest area of improvement can come. It's not just one guy, it's collectively as a group, and with the group, it's possession to possession. Are all five guys going to be there throughout the possession, and being able to do that over and over and over again throughout a game?
Fisher Rounds and Associates brings you keys to victory, and sometimes part of the battle is just being able to have your guys that you want on the court to be eligible to be on the court, and foul trouble has piled up. When you're looking at that, what are you seeing that needs to change to try to avoid some of that foul trouble that's been collecting?
Well, playing hard is one thing, and then playing smart's another, right? You got to combine both of them, and like our guys, we've just had some unfortunate breaks with some of that stuff, and some unfortunate things happen, coupled with what I would say uncharacteristic momentary lapses of focus and execution on either the defensive end or offensive end, that can get you into a bad position where it's easy to pick up a foul and in a tough spot. But if you're aggressive as a basketball team defensively like we want to be, you're going to pick up more fouls. But we've got to play that way also. But then you've also got to be smart and make adjustments as things are going. And in every game, you're going to – I would say very few games I've coached here, we've just been able to say, you know what, nobody was in foul trouble. It just is part of the game with that. And so I think we have enough guys that we can put into our rotation that foul trouble shouldn't be a factor, unless we don't have everybody firing on all cylinders and firing at a high level. That's when that becomes a problem.
And finally, looking at Dakota State, we've seen them before, but they've changed a lot. So when you're queuing in on trying to neutralize this or that from the Dakota State offense or defense, what are some of those things?
Yeah, they've got good shooters out there. They play better at home. Their offense, which they, like for basketball people that follow it, they run the triangle offense, and the triangle offense has, made a lot of noise, for our older people watching and listening. When Phil Jackson went to the Bulls and shifted their offense with Michael Jordan, as opposed to just letting them come down and fire all the time, they went to a triangle, and it's a ball movement, ball spacing, playing off of the post, cutting, a little bit more stationary type offense. Dakota State runs that, and it takes some time to get all the reads and the actions down, and Dakota State's getting a lot better running that in a fluid motion. They're big guys in their most recent game against University of Sioux Falls, who's a Division II team who was coming off a big-time win where they were up 20 points against Northwest Missouri State down in Kansas City. And Northwest Missouri State, they've been the best Division II team in the country the last 4 or 5 years. The USF beat them, and Dakota State is getting stuff done inside against them, and had a 1-point lead with 7 or 8 minutes to play in that game. So, you just look at something like that, and you got a lot better team on your hands than the first time you played them. The first time we played them, the second half, they didn't play all of their guys. I think they were in an internal battle a little bit, trying to get some things figured out. And so I would fully expect their best players to be on the court for the duration of the game. So that means we're going to have to play really well to win.
That's Coach Matt Wilbur for Dakota Wesleyan, and this is pregame coverage here on your Tigers Radio Network.
WM Nutrition is your locally owned nutrition headquarters in Mitchell. With over 40-plus years of service within the community, we take pride knowing that WM is providing the highest quality supplements in the area. Not only do we carry FDA-certified supplements, we also have high-quality CBD supplements, 100% pure essential oils, non-allergen foods, and much more to support your healthy lifestyle. Be healthy. Live healthy. WM Nutrition. Healthy defined. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 6 and Saturdays 10:30 to 4.
Listen to Dakota Wesleyan Sports wherever you are with live streaming on your computer or iPad and on the free TuneIn app on your phone. Now, back to the Blarney Sports Bar broadcast booth.
Farming isn't just your livelihood, it's your life. No one understands that better than Farm Bureau Financial Services. As the #1 ag insurer in our territory, they offer comprehensive coverage that protects your farm, your machinery, your livestock, and so much more. With customized coverage in one policy, with one premium and one deductible, you can count on Farm Bureau agents Rocky Neuenhaus in Corsica to help protect what matters most. Now that's smarter insurance for agriculture. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
How you move matters. Avera Orthopedics helps you move freely and live life to the fullest with innovative treatment options customized to your bone, muscle, and joint needs. Whether you suffer from aches, breaks, tears, or dislocations, turn to the orthopedic team experienced in treating every body. Learn more at avera.org/orthopedics.
Welcome back into the Blarney's broadcast booth. The announcer called out a full timeout, but it was just a 30. So over that break, we had Ronnie Ladding picking up his second foul. It was a defensive one against Jeffrey Shook. So Ladding out of the game. Dakota State leading it 6-3, and an offensive foul against Dakota Wesleyan. 3 fouls already for the Tigers. Back to Dakota State. And we had a push-off there with Sawyer Schultz getting called for it.
Yeah, right now, in order to try to negate not having Ladding in, they put in Roberto Giddens, great guy out of Alaska Fairbanks, transferred in, just hasn't been able to put it together yet, Jake.
Not quite yet. A 3-ball try to miss front iron by Simons, and Roberto Giddens, a tweener, a 3, a 4, what is he? Well, he's about 6'8", so, or let's list of 6'4", excuse me, but he plays bigger than that, but really more of a wing than down low. But on the defensive side, as we see in a 2-3 zone defense, he will play down low. Nice ball movement by Dakota Wesleyan, getting an opening down low, and Jeffrey Shook puts it in, makes it a 1-point game, 6-5. And that 2-3 defense, how do you beat it? Well, you switch it side to side to side, and then if you're Dakota Wesleyan, get it down low. And what they did there was get a couple of easy points in the glass. Roberto Giddens going up against Mason Larson. Up to the top, Nielsen drives in, takes a screen from Wood, and then dishes off to the right wing. 15 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half. Step back by Lynn, wants the 3 at the top of the key, hits the back iron, and tipped up into the air by Jeffrey Shook. Mason Larson a little bit lame, looks like he popped his ankle a little bit. Slow coming back, but he came away with the rebound. Larson takes it from Schultz on the left wing, gives it to Shook on the baseline. Jeffrey starts to go to work. 3 dribbles, spins around off the glass against Giddens, misses off the front iron, and it's back to Dakota State.
Shook had options on that one. He had Oppold wide open for a 3, but chose to take it down low.
Transition 3 tried by Simons. Larson tumbled to the ground as we have an over-the-back foul against Roberto Giddens, and Larson pops back up. A dangerous foul there, and Larson looks like he's a little bit tender on one of his ankles in this contest.
Yeah, he does. I don't know if he stepped wrong or stepped on a player for either his own team or the opposing team, but he looks a little lame.
6-5, Dakota State still on top. 15 minutes, 10 seconds left in the opening half. Schultz taking it across from left to right. Gives it to Ace Zor. He's into the contest for Jeffrey Shook. Then to Whitler. He's at the free throw line. Swing to the left corner. Oppold looking for the post entry into Zor. Bounces it one-on-one. Zor goes up high against Giddens. Gets it. And Roberto Giddens with the hand out on Zor sends him to the line for an and one.
Dakota State, Jake, they're looking in trouble with the amount of fouls that they're starting to pick up down low.
Yes, they are, as they already have Ronnie Ladding in foul trouble. Roberto Giddens picks up his first, and that's is that his second as well? Yes, so 2 quick fouls on Roberto Giddens. And then where do you go? At the moment, Giddens is standing close to Coach Garner on the sideline. We do not see anyone set to check in, and in fact, they leave him out. Coach Garner says keep playing. So the free throw is made by Ace Zor. Dakota Wesleyan's back on top 8-6, and there's 14.5 minutes left in the opening half. Dakota State basketball on the elbow. Giddens turns around, hands off to Lynn on a screen, curls around, looking into the high post, traveled with it. Nice defense by Nick Whitler to cut off the lane for Lynn.
Dakota Wesleyan is playing tight defense, not allowing a lot of those passes. They have a lot of screen and roll for Dakota State that they have to try to deal with, but they're doing a nice job of negating that.
They've been moving the ball well on offense as well. Already 3 of their 4 buckets have been assisted on. Whitler has it right wing, looks to the top. Oppold swings around left side. Schultz looks to Zor into the post. goes away from it, swings to the right side. Whitler drives in, off the glass, good. The underhand scoop shot by Nick Whitler, and that's his second bucket. 5 points for Whitler.
Nick saw that he had an open lane as soon as he beat his guy, took it all the way to the basket.
10-6, Dakota Wesleyan back on top over Dakota State. 14 minutes left in the first half. Simons has the basketball for the Trojans. Hands off. Deshaun Kelly fades away from 6 feet away. Gets his own rebound. Larson comes up with the block, but he got whistled for it. Swung and caught the underhand of the wrist of Deshaun Kelly. Kelly to the line for 2 shots.
That was a nice job by Kelly getting his offensive rebound. Just got fouled on that one.
Deshaun Kelly comes in off the bench, almost 10 points per game. And you mentioned Roberto Giddens comes from Alaska Fairbanks as a transfer. So does Kelly. He was ineligible the first 2 games. It was merely just a paperwork issue, so he couldn't play. We didn't really see him early on in the season. He's got all the paperwork filled out, so he's good to go now, and he's a really good player in that second unit for Dakota State. You see the athleticism to be able to pull up, get the foul call, makes 1 of 2 shots, and it's 10-7. Wesleyan basketball over Dakota State. Nick Whitler has it on the right wing. Oppold swings around left side to Schultz. 13:45, Schultz fires from 3, drops it. Sawyer Schultz, an outstanding three-point shooter. We've been waiting to see him get up to game speed. That looked very similar to what we've seen him in practice be able to pull up and fire from. Looking a little more comfortable. This is 3rd game back from injury.
He is looking comfortable. It's a nice job that he made it because he had no options down low. Larson and Zor were trying to sprint to the paint to get any offensive rebound they could.
Schultz is 3 of 8 on the season from 3. On Dakota State's side, it was a missed shot. Whitler fires from the left wing for 3. No good for Dakota Wesleyan. Back Dakota State's way. 13-7 with 13:10 left in the first half. Dakota State basketball moving from right to left. New player into the game for Dakota State is Gavin Skipper. He's been dealing with a little bit of illness, so he's back after a few games out. Roberto Giddens has the basketball, high post on the outside, back to Skipper, drives in, pulls up at the elbow, turns around, and gives it to Simons. Resetting and calling a screen for Lamar Wood, and he fires from 3. Does Simons, but misses it. No range in this early first half for Dakota State as they come in shooting 37% from 3. A foul offensively in transition for Dakota Wesleyan. Mason Larson heads to the bench, very upset after picking up that foul. We have a timeout taken. Scott Supply bringing you timeouts. That's your local Case IH dealer in Mitchell. Mason Larson with 2 fouls, 12:40 left in the first quarter. We're back in 30 seconds on your Tigers radio network.
The place that does it all. Maxwell and Bower Agency. From real estate to insurance, they've got you covered. They're an independent insurance agency with multiple insurance companies to choose from to best suit your specific needs. Maxwell and Bower Agency offers crop, personal, commercial, life and health insurance. 2 great locations full of friendly staff. Offices in Parkston and Ethan. The place that treats you like family. Maxwell and Bower Agency.
Welcome back to Dakota State University, where we have round 2 of this rivalry matchup. Well, the first time it was all Dakota Wesleyan, and what started that off was early foul trouble against Dakota State. Well, in the post, Ronnie Ladding sitting on the bench. He played just 15 minutes the first time Wesleyan and State met up. He's on the bench with those 2 fouls. Roberto Giddens playing with 2 fouls. Alan Kikwaki guarding him. First time we see the transfer coming in from Southeast Oklahoma State for Dakota Wesleyan in the post. And Skipper travels as he goes up against Sawyer Schultz. Back to Dakota Wesleyan, another turnover for Dakota State.
Sure is, Jake. That's only the second for Dakota State, but there's 4 for Dakota Wesleyan.
13-7 the score, 12 minutes and 18 seconds left in the period. Schultz looks around right side for Oppold. He has it on the wing, back to Schultz. Trying to get the ball to Ace Zor in the post. That's a mismatch, but you have him against Jackson Simons. Double team comes in, relinquishes. Zor turns around, goes baseline, and kisses it off the glass for 2.
Nice job by Zor being patient and waiting for it to be able to open up, seeing that he had a mismatch down low.
12 minutes left in the first half and an 8-point advantage for Dakota Wesleyan. Berto Giddens has it at the right elbow. Throws it away, a weak pass to Nielsen. Oppold takes it away all alone, and the layup is good, 17-7. So coming out of that Scott Supply timeout, Dakota Wesleyan on a 4-0 run.
Oppold was able to pick off that steal. He did it a couple of times in the first 2 games of the season, doing it again here tonight.
Dakota State basketball, and Jordan Lynn has it. He's on the left wing. Swing to the right side. Back to Nielsen. Looking to Gittens in the post. It's one-on-one against Kickwalkie. Puts the rock on the ground a couple of times and then dishes back to Lynn. He drives baseline. Does Lynn. Kicks the ball off of his left knee and into the hands of Ace Zor. That's back-to-back turnovers for Jordan Lynn. First to travel and then just dropping the ball off of his left knee. Looking a little shaky out there. 11 minutes left in the first half. Kickwalkie works into the right blocks. Picks up his dribble, bounces it to Oppold on the right wing, then to Schultz on the left side. Whitler enters it into the blocks against Zor. Ace one-on-one. Again, a mismatch. They keep Simons on him. He throws it up, misses a little bit long, and Simons has been playing down low in the post. That's a tough matchup going up against 6'7" guys.
It sure is, and honestly, I don't know if it's working.
Well, 6'2", I would say it's not working. 6'2", 185, and Ace Zor, and as athletic as he is, on the other end, we have a foul as Wood drives in, lays it up, gets hit, and he's to the free throw line. Lamar Wood comes in a 77% free throw shooter. 10 minutes, 29 seconds left in the first half and a 10-point lead for Dakota Wesleyan. Drew Cole coming off the bench for the first time. Jeffrey Shook will enter in with him as well. Two players set to come in for Dakota State. Looks like we have Jade Burma checking in, as well as coming back into the game, Deshaun Kelly after a brief breather.
Jake, that was the 6th foul on Dakota Wesleyan. Ace Zor picking up his first.
Yeah, Ace goes to the bench, as does Nick Whitler. Mason Larson with 2 fouls on the bench already. First free throw no good by Wood. Second one bounces off the back of the rim as well and picked up by Kickwalkie. Jeffrey Shook comes back in. He has 1 foul. Picked that up against Ladding. Shook gets it from Oppold one-on-one and draws the foul against Deshaun Kelly. 2 free throws for Jeffrey Shook. And most of the free throws that Dakota Wesleyan has in this season, a lot of them come from that Dakota State game. They got to the line with regularity and really not since then. You look at the free throw numbers for Dakota Wesleyan, not many to speak of. Kickwalkie, one of the leading free throw getters. He's 4 of 10. Jeffrey Shook comes in on the season 3 of 5 from the free throw line, hits on his first, and well, so he's 4 of 6. Just not a lot of free throws when you consider this is game number 7 of the season.
No, it's not a lot of free throws. You got to get to that free throw line more. Those are free buckets, and you can get the other team in a bad position if you can have them pick up fouls.
Shook goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. It's 18-8. Dakota Wesleyan leading it on the board. Kelly has the basketball for Dakota State against Schultz, and he traveled, took a step, and then drug that extra pivot foot. 10 minutes left, first half, and a 10-point lead for the Tigers. Late sub coming in for Dakota State. Gavin Skipper comes back in. Well, Skipper's a sophomore, and he was the returning leading scorer from a year ago. Averaged 10.5 points as a freshman, but he's been dealing with an ankle injury. He was ill for a while, so he was out, just back. And coming off the bench, Coach Garner's told me, well, when we can get him fully healthy, he's probably in the starting lineup, but just trying to work him back in. And they were unsure how many minutes he would be able to get to today, but this is already a second stint into the ball game. Allen Kickwalkie with the basketball, throws it up with the right hand in the blocks, no good, and State with the rebound. Nielsen drives in, left alley, turns around against the much taller Drew Cole. Nielsen at 5'11", gives right blocks to Wood, gives a shoulder into the head of Shook, turns around, off the glass, and no good. Schultz taking it across for Dakota Wesleyan.
And Kickwalkie was there with good position to be able to get that rebound. Everyone for Dakota State retreated, but he was in nice position to get it either way.
Oppold working the point at the top of the key, looks over to Cole rather, and then to Schultz. Swing to Drew Cole. He's a dead eye from three-point range. Showed a little bit of down low ability as well. Shot clock rolling down to 5, and Schultz forces one up from the deep left wing, misses. Stepped on the baseline did Simon, so Jackson gives a free ball back to Dakota Wesleyan.
Yeah, drop an inbound play right here. You're on your own side of the bucket.
18-8 the score, 9 minutes left in the first half. Dakota Wesleyan leading on the road against Dakota State by 10 points. Baseline inbound goes to Jeffrey Shook. He works one dribble, 2 with the left hand, lefty hook shots up and no good. Simons with the rebound. Dakota State basketball. Taking it across his Skipper. He fires to Nielsen, takes the wing 3, and again, no range for Dakota State from beyond the arc. They're 0 of 4 from beyond the arc. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half. Schultz, one hand pass out to Oppold. He's open from the wing, and it's good for 3.
Nice assist by Schultz, being able to see that Oppold was wide open for the three. Oppold allowed that to happen by initially boxing out to be able to get the defensive rebound to help bring it up the court.
21-8 on the scoreboard. Dakota Wesleyan leading Dakota State. Underhand scoop shot by Nielsen. He wanted a bailout by the referees, putting his hands up in the air and shrugging after a no call. Oppold on the other end for Dakota Wesleyan. Double clutch against Wood, draws the contact. And Dakota Wesleyan is being aggressive going to the hoop in this game. My question is, where's this been the last 4 games for the Tigers as Oppold goes back to the free throw line?
Yeah, we're starting to see the Oppold of old that's coming, driving down, being aggressive, being patient, waiting for his defender to go by. Exactly, Jake. Where has it been?
Yeah, we've been looking for this, but Oppold gets to the free throw stripe, hits his first shot. 22-8 the score on the board. Dakota Wesleyan leading Dakota State. 8 minutes, 6 seconds left in the first half. Ace Zor into the game for Alan Kickwalkie, and Drew Colts takes a seat as well for Wesleyan. Nick Whitler replaces him. Lamar Wood out. That was his first foul. Ryan Schuster in for Dakota State. Schuster, a freshman guard forward tweener at 6'4", 205. See him playing the blocks against Jeffrey Shook defensively. Jade Burma has the basketball at the top, takes a screen, gives it around to Skipper. He pulls up. That's the old three-point line. He's shooting from the high school one. Still missed it short. Rebound Wesleyan, and Schultz taking it across with 7 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half for Dakota Wesleyan. Oppold looks around, bounces it into the blocks. Ace Zor goes one-on-one against Burma, and actually that was Schuster he gets the foul call against, and Zor is to the free throw line.
Everyone that's on the court for Dakota Wesleyan has at least one foul, Jake. That's only 6 fouls that they have. Dakota State has 7, but you gotta watch the foul trouble.
Yeah. Well, I think Dakota Wesleyan's doing a good job getting to the foul line. Ace Zor misses his first free throw. Gittens comes in for Schuster as Schuster picks up his first. 7 fouls, as you mentioned, for Dakota State, and that includes 2 on Ronnie Ladding, and that's really the big one because he's been sitting on the bench since, about 15 minutes left in the first half. 24-8 as Zor hits his second free throw. 7 minutes and 26 seconds left in the first half. Turnaround Burma gives it to Gittens. He will fire from the wing for 3. Looks over right side to Skipper instead. Skipper has it right wing, then to Simons. Back to Skipper. 7:10 left in the first half. 24-8 the lead. Dakota Wesleyan controlling this game. Floater up by Simons. Make that Nielsen rather is good. And finally, double digits for Dakota State.
Dakota State was patient. They waited till that shot clock was down to 2 seconds before he took that shot. They were just passing it around trying to find anything.
Oppold fakes a 3 ball, drives in, jump stop, dish out to Shook, then to Schultz. He thinks about a deep 3. Goes to Schultz. Right side. Whitler is up and good, but hell, it's an offensive charge by Whitler. Ran into the defense. Nick Whitler picks up foul number 2. Nobody coming up to the bench yet. Letting him play with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half. Whitler playing at the top defensively, going up against Max Nielsen. Gittens has it at the free throw line, works over to the right side, hands off to Gavin Skipper, guarded by Schultz. Through the legs dribble, crossing over to the left, trying to shake his defender. Schultz forces the bad pass. Zor picks it up, and it's a turnover back Dakota Wesleyan's way.
That was a nice job by Zor staying on his defender, but also poking out that ball as it was driving in.
Turnover number 6 for Dakota State. Missed on the Dakota Wesleyan side. Gittens comes away with the basketball. 6:07 left in the first half. Nielsen gives it back to Skipper at the top of the key. Swing to the right side. It's Simons with the basketball. Back to Skipper. He fires from the corner for 3. Still nothing going for Dakota State. They are 0 of 5 from beyond the arc. 6 minutes left in the first half. 24-10 on the board. Dakota Wesleyan leading. Rivalry matchup on a Saturday afternoon. We'll be in action with the girls game tomorrow. 4 o'clock tip-off in Omaha against the College of St. Mary. Dangerous pass from Oppold out to the right wing. He gives it quickly back to Zor. Goes hard off the glass to the right, and it's back into the hands of Dakota State. Skipper taking it across. He's on the right wing. Looks down low to Gittens, left open. Dish out to the left side. Overthrows Burma. And one too many passes. Berto Gittens did not want to fire from down low. and instead it's a turnover. That's turnover number 7 for Dakota State.
I would tell you, go for it, man. You only have one player down low. You're more than likely probably going to get the foul because you're in better position. Just opted to throw it out. Another turnover for Dakota State.
Dakota Wesleyan back into the game. Nick Whitler does come out with 2 fouls finally. Drew Cole in for him. Wesleyan 3 of 7 from beyond the arc, 5 of 7 from the free throw line, and Mason Larson with 2 fouls comes in. Fires an ill-advised pass down low to Drew Cole. It's taken away, back Dakota State's way, moving from right to left. Jordan Lynn back into the game for State. He has the basketball, gives it to Burma, back to Lynn. Then to Nielsen on the left wing. 5 minutes left in the first half. 24-10, Dakota Wesleyan leading State. First half action here at the campus of Dakota State University. Lynn with the shot clock down to 7 seconds. Right side to Gittens. He fires from the right wing. 0 of 6 from beyond the arc. Schultz with the basketball, gives it to Zor left wing, then Schultz back to Kikwaki on the left corner. Drew Cole swings to Larson at the top. Simons tightly on him. Kikwaki takes it against Gittens. He has some space on the baseline. Goes to work, down low, goes at the body of Gittens, airballs it. Looks over to the referee looking for a bailout. Rebound Dakota State. Double clutch shot up into the air, and Mason Larson might have picked up his 3rd foul. Lynn went flailing into the air. He's slow to get up as he landed directly on his back. Waiting for the foul signal. The time on the clock, 4 minutes and 21 seconds. And a quick check-in for Nick Whitler coming in with 2 fouls. He replaces Sawyer Schultz. Lamar Wood comes back in for Dakota State as well. 24-10. Well, must not have been on Larson. And did we have no foul there? Just a jump ball perhaps? No, the possession arrow went up into the air. May have just been rolling out of bounds off of Dakota Wesleyan. 24-10 the score. Dakota Wesleyan on top. Coming around on a curl. A foul drawn by Jackson Simons. He's to the free throw line on the deep 2 from the wing.
And that is Nick Whitler's 3rd foul, Jake.
And he just came back into the game. Interesting to put him back in. And then he immediately picks up the foul, jumping up into the air defensively. Simons hits his first free throw. Schultz comes back in for Whitler. He has, yes, 3 fouls. Colin Oppold checks in, coming in for Larson. Already 1 player, 1 starter at that with 3 fouls. Coach Wilbur not wanting to get a 3rd player, second starter with 3 fouls. Simons misses on the second. Kikwaki cannot grab the rebound, lets it go out of bounds. Didn't realize he was the last player to touch it, and so it's back to Dakota State. Shook comes back into the game. He replaces Kikwaki. 24-11, baseline inbound. Lynn on the trigger. Catch and shoot. Nice play by Simons, but it hits off the handle. Rebounded by Wesleyan. 4 minutes left in the first half. Schultz up ahead to Cole. He's wide open from the wing for 3. Misses. 2 open apparently. Oppold chases down the rebound. He drives in left, then to the right alley. Push shot up is good from 4 feet away.
Nice job by Oppold, leading all scorers with 9 points.
As a team, Dakota Wesleyan 8 of 19, now 9 of 20 from the field. They're 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. Pretty good shooting day so far. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Lamar Wood goes right at the hoop and draws a foul against Ace. Zor delayed call there as Wood goes back to the free throw line. He went 1 of 2 from the stripe last time up, and Ace picks up his 2nd foul. Coach Wilbur, it looked like, signaled for Ace to stay into the game.
It was a nice job initially by Ace. He recovered nicely on defense, but then got a little too close trying to stop Wood from getting to the basket.
Well, Wood was right under the basket. There was not much you could do. He was looking under. I mean, you're in bad position down there. But Wood caught the ball right under the hoop, basically. He goes up, hits the first free throw, makes the second as well. 26-13. The score. Dakota Wesleyan leading Dakota State. 9 points for Oppold and 5 points from Lamar Wood leads the way. Colin Oppold has the basketball on the baseline, left side for Dakota Wesleyan. Puts his back to the basket, works at the hoop, misses short. Nice defense by the 6'8" Lamar Wood. Mentioned his shot blocking prowess, 13 on the season. Dakota State basketball, right alley delivery from Lynn, out left side to Burma for the triple. It's no good and rebounded by Jeffrey Shook. Dakota Wesleyan basketball. Oppold has it at the top of the key to Schultz, left wing. Dribbles through the leg, bounces it to Shook. He beats his defender, finally realizes it, goes at the hoop. Wood gets a hand on the ball, but we have a foul preempting that. Shook to the free throw line.
That was a quick job by Shook, realizing that he was open, and a quick job to the basket.
Jackson Simons picks up the foul. It's his first. 26-13 to score. 2:49 left in the first half. Shook back to the free throw line. Mentioned coming into the game he was just 3 of 5 in this, the 7th game. Misses his first free throw. He's just 1 of 3 in this game. Callan Herman checks in. He had a nice game out last time against Jamestown, seeing his biggest minutes of the season. He's worked his way into the rotation. He was the second leading scorer, 13 points for Dakota Wesleyan in that 10-point loss. Shook hits on the second free throw, 2 of 4 from the line, and it's 27-13 to score. Dakota Wesleyan leading Dakota State.
You bring up Herman, and he does a lot of nice things, not only defensively, but he can also give you a look offensively when everyone's being guarded.
Jade Burma with the basketball up to the top of the key. Simons, then to Nielsen. He's on the left wing, backing up, guarded by Herman. Gets a screen from Wood. Over to the right side. Lynn with the basketball. Burma with 6 seconds on the clock, being pushed around by Shook, keeping the position away from him. Lynn on the wing, fires, guarded tightly by Schultz, and finally a 3-ball goes in for Dakota State. It's on number 8, 1 of 8 from the 3-point line, 27-16.
At some point, Jake, you got to realize it's just not falling today.
Oppold to respond is good. Well, you're a 37% free throw, 3-point shooting team. You can't abandon the 3. Law of averages said the second half would be better. On the other end, Nielsen with a nice drive in. The 5'11 guard weaves through the trees, and 5 straight points in quick fashion for Dakota State. 30-18 to score. Oppold thinking about a 3. He takes it at the top of the key. Can't go back to back. Rebounded by Jade Burma. Lynn has it left wing for Dakota State. Moving from right to left. Time on the clock left in the first half at 92 seconds. Lamar Wood, 1 dribble, 2, trying to back down Shook. Opens up Burma, fires it to the right corner. Burma then goes to the wing. It's Nielsen with it. Shot clock still at 10. Some time to work with it. Nielsen drives in. Up and under shot, no good. Well, he's got quick moves. Was able to reverse, but missed it hard off the glass. Dakota Wesleyan basketball. Oppold walks it up the court. Looks down low to Ace Zor. He's got 2 fouls, staying in late in the first half with foul trouble all the way around for Dakota Wesleyan. Double team, runs into it, goes up anyways. It's knocked out of bounds on the rejection. That was on Jade Burma. I think they'll give the credit to the rejection, and it's out of bounds. Lamar Wood was right behind him, though.
Ace Zor, he had no other option but to go up. He had that double team blocking him in, and no one was in a good position for Dakota Wesleyan to take that ball from him.
Baseline inbound goes to Shook, then up top. Zor looks to Oppold on the right side, thinks about a 3, pulls up free throw line. 15-footer rattles in after it hits the rim 3 times.
Colin Oppold with 12 points in this game, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds.
Yeah, and Oppold with 14 after that make. 43 seconds left in the first half, and a big lead for Dakota Wesleyan, up by 14 points. Lynn goes around a nice screen and lays it in. 33 seconds left. 32-20. Oppold backs up on the wing, then to Zor up the top of the key. Screens for Schultz, give and go, up and under. Zor fouled by Berto Gittens, and Zor makes it back to the free throw line. 20 seconds left in the first half.
Berto Gittens picking up that 3rd foul also.
Foul trouble for Berto Gittens, who replaced Ronnie Ladding, who they've had sitting on the bench for about 10, maybe close to 15 minutes here with 2 fouls. Berto Gittens, their other option in the post, he has 3. Callan Herman checks out of the game. Drew Cole back in. 14-point lead becomes a 15-point advantage for Ace Zor. 35-20 to score. 21 seconds left in the first half. Nielsen to Lynn. Dakota State basketball shot clock's turned off here in the first half. Dakota Wesleyan's bench up to their feet, looking for a defensive stop. Gittens stops, looks around to Wood at the elbow. Catch and shoot. Simon's line is good. He was just behind the 3-point line. Top of the key 3 to close out the half. 35-23 after 20 minutes of play. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with halftime coverage. That will be Brought to you by Sodak Nutrition on KMIT 105.9, your Tigers radio network.
Say you had the greatest job in the world, crafting pumpkin fresh frozen custard desserts at Culver's. Here would be your typical day. Pour farm fresh dairy into the custard maker.
You want to
and
score
run
in that Hastings game?
Add real pumpkin puree and pumpkin pie spice, then craft a pumpkin spice shake or salted caramel pumpkin concrete mixer.
Just like that, pumpkin's back at Culver's, but not for long. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, 1015 Cabela Drive in Mitchell.
A teacher can influence a student for a lifetime. If you teach in one of our region's outstanding schools, consider Dakota Wesleyan's online Masters in Education. DWU's program is nationally ranked, offering endorsements in English as a new language, educational policy and administration, and K-12 principal. Courses are delivered in 7-week modules, and you can complete your degree in as little as 15 months. Discover the difference. Visit dwu.edu to learn more.
If you're thinking about buying land, think about financing it with Farm Credit Services of America. Not only do we deliver attractive rates and ag-friendly terms, we deliver ownership, a voice in how we work, and a share of what we earn in the form of cash-back dividends. When it comes to financing real estate, you'll find more reasons to land with us. Call Farm Credit Services of America at 1-800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here. Equal housing lender.
In today's world, it's important to choose a bank that serves your financial needs and shares your personal values. This is Bank West Regional President Brian Huber.
Did you want to score in that Hastings game?
Account or a business owner grow their company, our advice is always based on what's best for each.
That's all right. So they're not quite to the half yet, but it's Hastings 40, Mount Marty 20.
We'd love to be your bank. Bank West, convenient, connected, committed.
Yep.
Are you ready to give your Wi-Fi a boost? Introducing the all-new Wi-Fi 6 from Mitchell Telecom. Enjoy 400 megabits per second up and 400 down just for upgrading to Wi-Fi 6, which also gives you a larger Wi-Fi footprint, connects the most devices, and gives you more consistent speed. Wi-Fi 6 is the latest and greatest internet technology from your friends at Mitchell Telecom. Wi-Fi 6 now available with our Elite Broadband Experience and FlexPack bundles. Call 990-1000 today or go to mitchelltelecom.com to get your Wi-Fi 6 fix.
Your vehicle deserves expert care from the people who know it better than anyone else. At Iverson Auto, their factory-trained technicians use state-of-the-art technology and equipment to help keep your vehicle running like new. From routine maintenance to major repairs, the Iverson Auto Service Centers can handle everything your vehicle needs. Protect your auto investment by scheduling your service appointment today at Iverson Auto in Mitchell or Huron.
Listen to Dakota Wesleyan Sports wherever you are with live streaming on your computer or iPad and on the free TuneIn app on your phone. Now, back to the Blarney Sports Bar broadcast booth.
Halftime coverage brought to you by Sodak Nutrition. Mention this halftime show and get 10% off of your next order. And whatever it is you're looking for in the terms of energy, need a pick-me-up, Sodak Nutrition is your place. They've got protein shakes, energy teas, protein coffees as well. And that's located next to Culver's, Sodak Nutrition. Well, in the first half, Dakota Wesleyan on a 4-game slide trying to end it. So far, so good. A 12-point lead, 35-23. And the game turned around when foul trouble allowed that to happen. The second foul against Ronnie Ladding really turned this game on its head.
It sure did, Jake. You bring up the foul trouble. Everyone for Dakota State is having to try to adjust for the fact that Ladding and Berto Giddens is both in foul trouble. So you take out two of your main guys down low that can play and that are big bodies. Now you're trying to deal with height, but not the same body that you're used to having down low.
Well, Berto Giddens played that entire second half, second half of the first half. He has 3 fouls. They opted to leave him in, but Ronnie Ladding did play just 3 minutes and 19 seconds, so I was estimating about 15 minutes. Turns out it was about 16 minutes, 45 seconds. He was on the bench for Dakota State, and that changes a lot. Lamar Wood was able to play down low, but he's not the same imposing body where he's a shot blocker. He'll come in from behind. More the finesse guy in the defensive side, though. Not as much the body and rebounding, and certainly not on the offensive side. Not near the back-to-the-basket, low-post offensive player that Ronnie Ladding is. That put a big hurt in their defense or in their offense rather, because also you take that that offensive threat away. Well, for the Dakota Wesleyan defense, they get to stretch out more on the outside, the perimeters, and the three-point shots, they go just 1 for 8 in the first half. You're able to guard the guys on the perimeter when you know that down-low post threat is not as prevalent.
Yeah, you no longer have to worry about, all right, do we need to now double team because he's getting down low. Credit to Shook for being able to have him pick up those 2 fouls and doing what he can to negate what he was doing while he was in the game.
Yeah, Jeffrey Shook took a charge early on. I guess that would have been 16 minutes and 41 seconds left in the first half. And that was Ladding's second foul. He sat the entire way. And very curious, I know they want him back for the second half, but Coach Garner basically sat Ladding the entire second half the first time they played, and he was in a little bit of foul trouble, but he never put him back in. So for whatever was going on there, we have not seen Ronnie Ladding for most of either of the games that we've had for Dakota Wesleyan and Dakota State in this rivalry. And in that loss to Sioux Falls, that game that they played so tightly with, we're tied with about 11 and a half minutes left. Ladding really was the catalyst. Now for Dakota Wesleyan's side, they've been stronger offensively going down low and pretty darn good on the outside as well. Colin Oppold leads everything, 14 points in the game. He has 4 defensive rebounds, 1 offensive board as well. That's for a total of 5. 18 rebounds for Dakota Wesleyan in the first half, 15 for Dakota State. I would not say Coach Wilbur would be thrilled with the defensive rebounding effort, but they do have the lead, which is something that they cannot say for the last 2 games at least.
No, and I would say it's definitely a better game that we've seen from rebounding. You have at least 2 or 3 guys that are trying to crash the boards each time to try to get those rebounds. Is it great? No, but it's definitely an improvement, and you need to see that improvement.
Yeah, still only 2 offensive rebounds in the first half. That is tough. 2 offensive rebounds for both sides, Dakota State and Dakota Wesleyan in the first half, and you consider it's a 12-point game. Imagine Dakota State will be getting Ronnie back in to start the second half. Will be very interesting to see how perhaps that change of pace goes. But if you're Ladding, it is all about straight up and down defense, and watch for Shook to be using your power as a back-to-the-basket offensive player to disadvantage to draw a charge, because that's what he did. The body went in, and Shook hit the deck. He drew the charge. That took Ladding out. So 1 foul either way, and that takes him right out. But I would be looking to see the momentum maybe shift a little bit if they go directly down to Ladding and he gets a couple of buckets early. Still anyone's game, 35-23. Let's take a 30-second break now in the Sodak Nutrition halftime show, just after we give you the Wild Oak Great Life Fitness score updates, where we don't have a whole lot to report, but we do have one game starting at 2 o'clock on the women's side. Hastings almost to the half on top of Mount Marty, 40-20. And that's the only game we have live at the moment. Again, back in 30 seconds, and then we will have our Earn Your Stripes interview with, Mitchell native. Mackenzie Miller is a right side hitter and a junior for Dakota Wesleyan volleyball. And she is coming in after a great season, a 4th place finish in the GPAC, and the GPAC got 7 teams in to the national tournament, Dakota Wesleyan being one of them, finishing ranked 13th nationally. They play tonight at the Corn Palace, 6 o'clock. We hope that you'll be there. Let's pack the Corn Palace, support them as they take on St. Xavier, a fantastic team out of Chicago. We've got an article up previewing that matchup tonight up on MitchellNow.com. You can check that out. Their outside hitter is 3rd in the nation in kills overall, one of only 3 players with 500-plus kills on the season. And as you can hear our head coach, Lindsey Wilbur, for the volleyball team say, their middles play really quick offensively as well. That is that brings an interesting dynamic in, because you have quick middles and a great outside. Well, then that means not only can the attack be coming from multiple places, but you have to defend multiple places in just a split-second time as well. And again, Earn Your Stripes is brought to you by the Mitchell Recreation Center, where you can contact them today and have one of their membership coordinators get you started. If you're already a member, enjoy the benefits of the Aquatic Center, exciting new fitness programs as well. Whatever it is, you're sure to find something you cannot live without. Believe the hype. Start today. Family, fitness, fun, and the Mitchell Recreation Center. We return with that interview next on KMIT 1059.
If you plan on building a new home, make it stress-free and have Quality Homes in Mitchell help you with all the details from start to finish. Bring in your floor plan or choose one of the many they offer. Quality homes are built better and faster because they are built in an indoor controlled environment at Custom Touch Homes in Madison. All of their homes are Energy Star qualified, so you know you are getting top quality products. Contact Quality Homes in Mitchell today at 605-995-6215.
For another edition of Earn Your Stripes, brought to you by the Mitchell Recreation Center, I've got junior right side hitter for Dakota Wesleyan Volleyball, Mackenzie Miller. And Mackenzie, you're about to play in a national tournament match at the Corn Palace. How does that feel?
Feels pretty cool. I mean, we didn't.
Jake, do you want to break after this or right back to you?
We're also excited for this game just because we get to play in the Corn Palace again. I mean, JD DeLang, this is her favorite spot to play. And her last home game ever will be played in the Corn Palace. So, I mean, it's pretty cool for our team that we get to play at home.
So you get to play in the Corn Palace for the first time all year, but not the first time ever. But it's a little bit different after a full home schedule at the Christian Family Athletic Center, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's super great to be home, and although we aren't playing in the CAC, this is still awesome for us because we've played here before. We know how what it's like to play in this gym, and it offers a lot more seating for people.
Yeah, and we hope to have it packed up. Now, you chose to stay in Mitchell after high school and stay with Dakota Wesleyan. What went into that decision for you to be a Tiger?
I toured other colleges that were 2 hours an hour, and Dakota Wesleyan I've always just loved. Both of my parents either worked here or went to Dakota Wesleyan, and I'm a homebody. And I don't know, just Dakota Wesleyan just feels like home. The community is so proud of the school, and just I don't know, Coach Wilbur really recruited me really well, and I mean I did camps with her and stuff all throughout when I was little. So I think just being here and being home is really why I decided to.
And you've been able to see this program on this rise. What do you think has led to this special season?
I mean, my class came in with a lot of good talent, athletes, and I think just how Coach Wilbur's been recruiting the last few years and the growing program really helps with that. And I think just working hard every day in practice has really led up to this season.
So you were an outside in high school, and then you come to college and you move to the right side, which makes sense. You've got the big, powerful arm, and it works really well on that right side of the net, but it's a change. You're not as open. What were all of the changes that you had to make personally to adjust from the left side of the net to attacking from the right side?
Right. So after I tore my ACL is when I kind of knew that I'd probably be switching to the right side, just because, I mean, you don't get set as often, but I'm still a dominant force on the right side, and Dakota Wesleyan really needed another right side at the time. I mean, we had Chaden, which she was really good, but I knew that someone would have to follow her, and Coach Wilbur thought that would be me, and so she just transitioned me into a right side.
And going to college from high school, it's night and day with what a right side hitter is, because in high school it's maybe you get set 3-4 times a game. In college, right side is such a crucial part. You need that powerful attack on the right side, and that's why I say when I see you, I think, hey, that's a good right side, because you can come through and just shoot it right through that block.
Right. I mean, in high school, right sides are just kind of there, not to degrade anybody, that's a right side, but yeah, in college you have to have a big block that's blocking their outsides, because most teams have their best player is the outside, and so just having someone big there and who can also put the ball down is really beneficial for the team.
So Dakota Wesleyan, you're an athletic training major. Have there been any professors who have really helped you along the way?
Dan Wagner, he's my advisor. I don't know, he just knows everything about all the sports at Dakota Wesleyan, so just helping me throughout schooling and helping me with athletics really helps.
That's Mackenzie Miller, junior right side for DWU, and hey, we got a match tonight at 6 at the Corn Palace. Make sure to be there. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And that's another edition of Earn Your Stripes, brought to you by the Mitchell Recreation Center.
Hello, Tiger fans. This is DWU Athletic Director John Hart. Despite the challenges we have faced over the last year, our programs have exceeded expectations in and out of the classroom. In order to maintain success at the conference and national level, we need your continued support. There's still time to join as a corporate partner and a TeamMaker member for the 21-22 season and enjoy incentives such as season tickets, apparel, and exclusive access to private events. For more information, visit our website at dwathletics.com or call me, John Hart, at 605-995-2898. Thank you.
Listen to Dakota Wesleyan Sports wherever you are with live streaming on your computer or iPad and on the free TuneIn app on your phone. Now, back to the Blarney Sports Bar broadcast booth.
And welcome back to the Sodak Nutrition halftime show. Just a few seconds left before the start of the second quarter. Let's reset the lineups for Dakota State and Dakota Wesleyan. First for the Dakota Wesleyan Tigers on the road, Mason Larson comes back out. He had a couple of fouls in the first half. Nick Whitler does not start half number 2. He has 3 fouls. Colin Oppold, Sawyer Schultz, Ace Zor, and Jeffrey Shook. For Dakota State, it's Jordan Lynn out at the point guard position, Lamar Wood, as well as Max Nielsen as well as Jackson Simons and Max Nielsen, and Ronnie Ladding is back out on the court to start the second half. He had 2 fouls in the first half, did not play more than 3.5 minutes. Lynn pulls up 15 feet away, misses short, and Mason Larson comes away with the rebound. First possession and a missed shot for Dakota State. Left wing, Dakota Wesleyan moving from right to left. Dark blue jerseys here in the half. Colin Oppold has it. He had 14 points in the first half to lead the way for all scores on both sides. Dakota Wesleyan 7 turnovers in the first half, 7 for Dakota State as well. Ace Zor in the left blocks, head fakes, throws it away, trying to give it out to Oppold, and it was taken away by Lynn. He's taking it across left wing, back up top to Simons. 1 minute gone by in half number 2, a 12-point lead, 35-23 in the second half. Lamar Wood on the right elbow. Simons takes the basketball, takes a screen from Wood, floats it up, misses short again, grabs his own rebound, bounces it back. Ladding under the hoop, double team comes in, finally finds Wood. Out to the left side, Lynn fires from 3, it's up, misses short, and Shook cannot handle the rebound. It's out of bounds and back to Dakota State.
There's been a few of those rebounds today, Jake, where they try to bring it in with that one hand and it ends up going out of bounds.
Yeah, he was trying to close in with the second as he was trying to get it away from the defense, could not, but yeah, you're right. There's been a few that have just gone for naught. The inbound to Max Nielsen. He's guarded by Shook, tries to drive baseline, looks for some space, and a block foul comes in against Sawyer.
Max Nielsen leading scores for Dakota State with only 6.
Yeah, not a lot of scoring to go the way around for Dakota State in the first half. 6 by Nielsen, 5 by Lynn, 5 from Lamar Wood as well. And a throw out of bounds from Lynn looking for Jackson Simons. 4 points for Jackson Simons, Ladding with 2, and then 1 from Deshaun Kelly. That's the total where we stand at this point. Coming out of the break, neither team has scored 1.5 minutes into the second half. Mason Larson has the basketball for Dakota Wesleyan. Colin Oppold looking for a screen, gets it from Zor, then passes off to the right wing. Shook looking down, entry pass into the blocks with Oppold on the right side. Double team up top, Shook fires from 3, looking for his first make of the year, and it's good. Jeffrey Shook from distance is in, and it's 38-23.
It's difficult for Ladding to be able to guard Shook because he can go and he can play on the wing, but he can also play down low. So it's difficult as a true post player to be able to guard someone like Jeffrey Shook.
Yeah, and at 6'5", Shook is a tweener. He plays in the post primarily, but he can shoot from distance as well. Nielsen tries to draw a foul from the left wing for 3, and then Lamar Wood rolls his ankle. He looks like he gets up. He's all right, but tried to throw the ball out of bounds off of Oppold, and hey, Oppold stepped right back and out of the way, so it goes out of bounds. 17:45 left in the second half, and a poor start for Dakota State out of the gates. Dakota Wesleyan leads it by 15. Low pass to Oppold, looking into the blocks. Zor against Nielsen, or against Simons rather. Oppold takes it back on the right wing. Skips it to the left side. Quick switch around to the left blocks. Sawyer Schultz has it. One-on-one against Nielsen. Bounce pass into the block. Zor gets a step on Ladding. He tumbles it around, and the misstep by Ladding opens up Zor for the wide open lay-in.
Ladding was lucky that he didn't get called for a foul. He initially pushed off and then fell to the ground, leaving Zor wide open.
40-23 the score. 17 minutes left in the second quarter. Nielsen has it on the baseline. Dakota State basketball working from left to right. They're in their home white jerseys, coming in 2-7 on the season. At the free throw line, skip to the right corner and then to Ladding into the blocks. One-on-one against Shook. He pushes off again with the left elbow. Reached around Shook, trying to get some space around, and an offensive foul against Ladding. Coach Garner leaves Ronnie in with 3 fouls. 16:52 left in the second half.
Ladding doesn't really have anywhere to go with Shook down low. Shook stands his ground, and he's got to get creative if he wants to get any space on Shook.
And I like the matchup. If I'm Coach Garner, I'd like to take Shook off of, or take Ladding off of guarding Shook, because Jeffrey Shook, as we have a carry by Sawyer Schultz, continues to stand out on the wing and pull himself out of the blocks. That's a great move by Coach Wilbur, because it takes Ladding out of the post. And I would maybe look at switching that matchup.
Without a doubt, Jake, without a doubt.
16 and a half minutes left. It's Dakota State's basketball after the carry by Sawyer Schultz. Woods gives it to Lynn, screens for him off to the right. He hesitates, drives over to the right side, moves back out to the right corner. Dishes it back to Nielsen. He shakes Sawyer Schultz, drives in left side, open up on the wing for 3. No, he's not going to take it. They'll swing around opposite side. Nielsen drives in, scoop shot, good, and the foul against Ace. Zorg drew the contact, and Nielsen's to the free throw line.
That was a nice job by Nielsen, seeing that everyone was collapsed down low, took it as far as he could, and then essentially just laid it up and in.
Nielsen averaging about 28 minutes per game and about 10.5 points per game. 40-25 the score on the board. Drew Cole comes in for Mason Larson. Larson got attributed with the foul. That was against Ace Zor. That should be Zor's second. But Larson was attributed with his third. That was a missed call by the referees.
Well, you even see Larson like, well, why am I coming out? That was on Zor. He's even confused.
Coach Wilbur appealing to the scores table, but not much you can do. That's the way the foul goes. And 26 points after the made free throw for Nielsen for Dakota State. They trailed Dakota Wesleyan by 14. That was clearly against Ace Zor going into the air, unless there was something from either side that I did not see on the hand fighting maybe. Schultz gives it to Shook, thinks about a 3, and the defensive change has been made. It's looking at a zone look here. Schultz, high dribble and a second carry against Sawyer Schultz. 15:48 left in the second half, and Sawyer does have to watch that. He has a high handle on that crossover, and he gets called for back-to-back carries. 15:45 left, Dakota State basketball. Back to a 14-point game. It was 18 not that long ago, or 17 rather. Simons draws a foul against Drew Cole, a tripping foul. And you can see that momentum slowly shifting toward Dakota State. If they can put together a few possessions, they're right back in this game. A third foul of the half, Drew Cole's first. That's the one benefit for Dakota Wesleyan, as it comes against a player who did not have a foul. Coach Wilbur seeing the same thing, calls a timeout. So those were brought to you by Scott Supply, and we are back in 1 minute on KMIT 1059.
Farming isn't just your livelihood, it's your life. No one understands that better than Farm Bureau Financial Services. As the #1 ag insurer in our territory, they offer comprehensive coverage that protects your farm, your machinery, your livestock, and so much more. With customized coverage in one policy, with one premium and one deductible, you can count on Farm Bureau agents Rocky Neuenhaus in Corsica to help protect what matters most. Now that's smarter insurance for agriculture. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
How you move matters. Avera Orthopedics helps you move freely and live life to the fullest with innovative treatment options customized to your bone, muscle, and joint needs. Whether you suffer from aches, breaks, tears, or dislocations, turn to the orthopedic team experienced in treating every body. Learn more at avera.org/orthopedics.
15:37 left in the second half as we welcome you back to the Blarney's broadcast booth here at the campus of Dakota State University. Rivalry afternoon, 40-26. Dakota Wesleyan leads Dakota State. Ronnie Ladding has the basketball for the Trojans, gives it to Nielsen. Dead-eye shooter from 17 feet away, straight away from the hoop, and it's to a 12-point game. Coach Wilbur called that timeout and wanted to swell the tide a little bit, but Dakota State comes right back out with a possession and a score. Dakota Wesleyan basketball. Oppold has it in the blocks. He had a team-high 14 points. Backing away, a hook shot no good. Shook with the offensive rebound. number 3 of the game for Dakota Wesleyan. 40-28 the score, just under 15 to play in the second half. Nice little give and go backdoor cut for Schultz, and the assist by Oppold.
Nice job by Oppold. You can see that he had to take on a lot of those point guard duties while Schultz was out, seeing the court and realizing where to be able to find that cutter.
4th assist for Colin Oppold. He's done it all. 5 rebounds, 14 points, and 4 assists. Looking for the backdoor cut the same way for Dakota State, and is cut off by the good defense of Oppold going against Jackson Simons. Ladding passes out of it. Wood off to Lynn. Bounces off the hands of Ace Zorin out of bounds. Stays with Dakota State. 42-28 the score, 14-26 left in the second half. Nick Whitler checks in for Drew Cole. Mason Larson with 3 fouls. Comes back in as well. He replaces Ace. And a tie-up. We have Ace Zor and Sawyer Schultz, it looks like, talking with Jordan Lynn and Ronnie Ladding. What was happening as the substitutions were coming in. Just a couple of players getting pretty close. It's all broken up. So Schultz comes out of the game, rather. Ace Zor stays in, Larson in as well. Whitler replaces Drew Cole. Nielsen gets a step against Whitler. That forces the foul, and it is in the blocks, either against Shook or Larson. 14-22 left in the second quarter. And it goes against Nick Whitler. He picks up his 4th foul. What's he been in, 5 seconds?
Yeah, something like that. Drew Cole checking back in for Nick Whitler.
Well, he got in bad position defensively because Nielsen's a quick ball handler. He likes to slash inside, and he does it pretty effectively. And he beat Whitler defensively, and then Nick got caught with the stab in from behind. That is one thing as that sophomore continues to develop. Defensive positioning will need to continue to go along. So he got himself into foul trouble there. 42-29. Free throw goes 1 of 2 for Nielsen, so it's 42-29 the score. Dakota Wesleyan leading Dakota State. Ace Zor on the right wing, moving from right to left is Wesleyan. Ace Zor's second in points for Dakota Wesleyan with 11. Oppold with 14. 14 minutes left in the second half. Oppold draws a foul against Jordan Lynn. He dances jumping up and down after he gets that foul right at 14 minutes. And for Lynn, that's foul number 1. Team foul number 2.
That was close defense, and he was relatively doing a good job, but just created not enough distance to be able to safely get that.
Well, I think he got caught in with a hand up and in the way of the guy who was defending. Shook fakes a 3 at the top of the key. 13:52 left. Larson quick up to the top of the key, back to Oppold. Head fakes twice to the left, then gives it off to Core. Now Ladding with the rejection as Cole drives in baseline. Gets the ball back on a bad pass, and the shot clock goes off, but that is wrong. Dakota State had possession. They never reset the shot clock. Dakota State had possession. Ladding passed it away. Sure, it was taken away by Cole, but that's a possession. Am I wrong?
No, you are not wrong. Lynn, he ended up jumping over the bench, went into the stands when it would have been off Dakota Wesleyan. He did a lot of extra work for basically
Larson
nothing.
comes back with a big rejection against Jordan Lynn. Back to Wesleyan basketball. 13:20 left in the second half. 42-29. Oppold, left side, Cole left open for 3. It's up, misses, rattles out. Ace Zor can't grab the offensive rebound. Back to Dakota State. 13:10 left in the second half. 13-point game. State versus Wesleyan. Dakota State moving from left to right. Nielsen has it on the left wing, bounces it to Wood. Comes around right side of Wood. Simons takes it. He has it go off of his left hand. Wood picks it up and gives it back to Simons at the top of the key. Swing around to the right side. Ladding gets it in the blocks, and an offensive foul, a push-off called again against Ronnie Ladding, his 4th. Well, that was a misdirection play where Wood was coming out to screen, and that was supposed to bring a second post player out. Ladding was getting his position to receive the loft into the blocks, and he was immediately called for the push-off against Jeffrey Shook. That's his 4th foul. He comes out of the game. 12 minutes, 50 seconds, as usual. Coach Garner, hands crossed, pretty subdued on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see Ronnie Ladding back in this game.
Well, I would imagine we would. We'll see. He did not return the last time against Wesleyan after getting his 4th foul. Maybe it was even just his 3rd foul. A hook shot on the Dakota Wesleyan side misses by Mason Larson. Back to Dakota State. Nielsen with the basketball for the Trojans. 12 minutes and 24 seconds left. Dakota Wesleyan up by 13. Wood turns around wide open from 15 away. He misses hard off to the right.
That created some nice separation for him to be able to get that shot off. Just couldn't make it.
Well, yeah, he was looking around, and the Wesleyan defense was relinquishing, assuming him to be a screener and to come around on a curl for either Nielsen or Simons. He was wide open. Wesleyan turns the ball over. Lynn on the other end, and Larson picks up, or Shook rather, picks up a foul going up on the layup. He took the ball out of the hands of Jordan Lynn. 12:01 left on the clock for Jeffrey Shook. Not too bad. It's foul number 2.
He has 7 points, though, Jake. 3 rebounds. He's having a nice game defensively and offensively.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He kept Ladding off the court. That's number 1, is drawing 3 offensive fouls against Ronnie Ladding. He drew 2 fouls offensively against Ladding last time. First free throw missed by Jordan Lynn, 42-29 the score. Dakota State at the free throw line. Lynn making his second. Well, they're sitting at 8 of 13 at the free throw stripe. Left 5 points on the board, down by 13. 12:01 left as Sawyer Schultz back into the game. Drew Cole takes a seat. Callan Herman in, rather, for Drew Cole. Second time we've seen Herman in the game for Dakota Wesleyan. Had 13 points in the loss to Jamestown last time out. Shot 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Freshman showing some range. Oppold fires from 3. That was contested, and it's still good. Oppold playing with a lot of confidence. It seems like he's been hesitant to fire from 3 for the last several games, and he gets that one. It's a 15-point lead, 45-30.
Well, Oppold is also shooting those threes a little bit closer. A lot of those he's been shooting from like NBA range, pulling it up this game.
Lamar Wood hits it. He was about 2 feet away. It's a rise and 2-foot hook shot. 45-32, Dakota Wesleyan with the lead and the basketball. Larson underneath the hoop, hands off to Herman, up top to Shook, swing around left side. Oppold fakes a 3 on the left wing, works to the free throw line. Double team comes in to Shook against Berto Gittens. Turns around, fading away, hook shot, bounces twice off the rims, no good. And the rebound back to Jackson Simons. Dakota State basketball. Lynn hesitates, drives baseline, turns around on a spin, misses short, and is back into the hands after the rebound of Shook of Dakota Wesleyan.
That was pretty quick into the shot clock to be making a move like that.
Herman has the basketball for the Tigers. Swing around left side. Post entry pass from Schultz into Shook. Back out to Oppold. Fires from 3 and it's good. 10:40 left and the biggest lead of the game for Dakota Wesleyan of the half, 48-32.
Colin Oppold with 20 points.
Biggest lead overall was 17 points. Dakota Wesleyan just 1 shy of that here in the second half. Nielsen has the basketball. Gives it left side to Wood. 10 minutes and 20 seconds left in half number 2. 48-32 the score. Nielsen drives in. Floats it up 6 feet away. Misses off to the right. Oppold and Gittens tied up. And Berto Gittens picks up his 4th foul.
And you can see the kind of presence that Ladding has, that you got to constantly have someone down low watching him, that it allows the wing to be able to open up a little bit more. They were doing better when Ladding was in, and now it's nothing going.
Yeah, the lead is extended. Berto Gittens stays in with 4 fouls. Coach Garner not wanting to go too deep into the bench, especially with a game down 16 points. A fire from 3, and Oppold can't miss. Right wing triple. Biggest lead of the game for Dakota Wesleyan, 51-32.
23 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists for Colin Oppold.
Lamar Wood on the left block against Shook. Goes up and under, off the glass and good, 51-32. Becomes 51-34. 9:40 left in the second half.
Nice spin move by Wood to be able to get Shook out of position and be able to make that.
Schultz works to the left, then to the right. Hands up right alley. Herman is open, but an illegal screen against Sawyer Schultz turns the ball back to Dakota State.
When we started the second half, Dakota State only had 2 points off of turnovers. They're now up to 8, but they're slowly coming down.
Yeah, actually, 10 turnovers for Dakota State as well. Like you mentioned, 8 points off of turnovers. 12 turnovers for Dakota Wesleyan. 7 in the first half, 5 in the second quarter, and 4 fouls against Sawyer Schultz after that illegal screen. 51-34. High post Giddens, one-on-one against Larson. Fades away from 15, misses off the front of the rim, and Shook hauls down the rebound. 9 minutes, 8 seconds. Nick Whitler back in. He has 4 fouls for Dakota Wesleyan. Oppold, well, he won't pull from 3 this time. Looks for a cutting Mason Larson off the glass. Can't make it. Well, Mason Larson has not scored all week long. He finished with 0 points in limited minutes against Jamestown and picks up a blocking foul. Again, no, hold up. It's Berto Gittens has just fouled out. That was a charge against Gittens. And he has not fouled or not scored today either, has Larson. So Gittens fouls out with 8 minutes and 52 seconds left. Fouls have been just too many for Dakota State in this contest. See where they go with on the floor. Chris Morales comes back in. So Dakota State actually opts to momentarily go smaller here as Morales, a 6-footer, junior out of T, South Dakota. Lamming does move to the scorer's table to check in at the next dead ball. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second half and a 17-point lead for Dakota Wesleyan. Left block, Shook has it. 2 dribbles, spins around and draws a foul against Jordan Lynn. Comes in before the shot. Team foul number 6 for Dakota State.
Dakota State having Ladding coming in for Wood. Wood is 6'8", so you're getting even smaller.
Well,
height-wise.
Well, you're trading Ladding at 6'8" and about 60 pounds, 70 pounds heavier. Colin Oppold makes a shot this time from inside the arc. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second half, 53-34. Morales has it high post, out to the left side, Lynn with the basketball. He works into the free throw line, picks up his dribble, gives it out to Morales. Whitler on Morales. He'll fire back to Simons. Oppold grabs the ball out of the air, nice passing lanes, and Whitler comes up way with it. 8 minutes left in the second half and a 53-34 lead for Dakota Wesleyan. Oppold on the right corner. He pulls up. Can't miss. Some days are just like this. And it's 7:45 left just inside the three-point line. Colin Oppold, 27 points and a timeout. A 21-point lead for Dakota Wesleyan over Dakota State. 7:44 left in the second half. We are back in 60 seconds on KMIT.
The place that does it all. Maxwell and Bower Agency. From real estate to insurance, they've got you covered. They're an independent insurance agency with multiple insurance companies to choose from to best suit your specific needs. Maxwell and Bower Agency offers crop, personal, commercial, life and health insurance. 2 great locations full of friendly staff. Offices in Parkston and Ethan. The place that treats you like family. Maxwell and Bower Agency.
What makes Culver's Butterburger one of America's best loved burgers? Our fresh, never frozen beef is made from the highest quality cuts for richness and flavor. We press that beef into a very hot grill after you order, and that's how we get that nice caramelized edge. Then we lightly butter and toast the bun.
That's what makes it a Culver's Butterburger. Let us craft one for you today. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, 1015 Cabela Drive in Mitchell.
Welcome back to the Blarney's broadcast booth. 55-34 the scores. Dakota Wesleyan being led by a 27-point night from Colin Oppold. 10 of 14 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 of 7 from the 3. Can't miss some days. And the last 4 shots for Oppold have all been contested. No, it's not like Dakota State doesn't know he's going to shoot it. It's just he can't miss.
No, and like you said, Jake, there's some nights where you are just firing from everywhere and you cannot miss.
I hesitate to say the old cliche of, oh, the bucket feels like it's a mile wide. Well, it's not like that. Some days everything's just firing. It's that a quick twitch muscle, whatever it is, as Ladding fires turnaround hook shot that goes in. It's just everything is on, and then the next day you could pick up a basketball and you know right away it doesn't feel the same. Today, everything is coming up Oppold, as I like to say. 55-36, 7:10 left in the second half. Oppold has the ball knocked out of his hands by Lynn, gets it back to Jeffrey Shook. Stays with Dakota Wesleyan, moving from right to left, right alley. Shook fires to Oppold, out left side. Whitler for a triple. He was wide open. 4 fouls or not. Nick Whitler gets the triple in.
I love how fast Nick Whitler can knock down a shot. He does not hesitate. As soon as he gets the ball, it's going up in the air.
First triple of the day for Whitler, and Dakota State responds on the other side with Max Nielsen with a triple. 58-39, 19-point lead for Dakota Wesleyan, 6.5 minutes left. Mason Larson at the top of the key, shook, Opple. Nobody's on him. He'll go out right side. Callan Herman fires from three, wants one, misses short, and Ladding pulls down the rebound. Lynn slow across the timeline, 6:18 left. Dakota State can't waste a single possession here, so they're taking their time. They need to convert to have any chance to come back in. Turnaround shot by Nielsen, or Simons rather, no good. 6:05 left in the second quarter.
You need to
second
convert,
period.
Jake, but you also need to crash the boards to get those offensive rebounds back.
Yeah, under 6 to play. Shook at the top. 58-39, and you mentioned that one and done won't get it done. You need 2 points, 3 points every single possession. You don't get that, well, you got to get the boards, as you said. And there were a lot of players backing up after that shot went up. Drive in left side. Simons with the double clutch draws the foul. That's a third on Jeffrey Shook. Clock stops at 5:40. Free throws today for Dakota Wesleyan, as many as we've seen in a long time, 7 of 10. Dakota State shot quite a few as well. This is 14 and 15 on the day for them. They've converted 9 of those 14 shots. That's about 64%. From the field, Dakota Wesleyan, 49% shooting compared to 34% from Dakota State, and 3 of 12 for the Trojans from beyond the arc. That included 1 of 8 shooting from beyond the arc in the first half.
I love the three-point shooting, Jake. 9 of 17, almost 53% from 3 for Wesleyan.
5.5 minutes left in the game. Callan Herman receives the ball for Dakota Wesleyan. Has the ball poked out from behind by Nielsen. Fires ahead to Simons and then to Lynn. He'll swing around right side. Herman guarding Nielsen. Watch for him to step back. He does from 3, and it's good.
That was only a 2. His foot was on the line.
No, well, it was a 3 in high school, but this isn't high school anymore. There's 3 lines here. Only 2 of them are even used at any level. 5:11 left, and a Scott Supply timeout taken. We will be back in 30 seconds, and I'll make that 60 seconds on KMIT 105.9.
Your next promotion is just an
All right, did you hear me?
If you're looking for a quality
by chance last break, I was going to see if you had a score update on anything.
Dakota Wesleyan University.
Hastings is 60, Mount Marty 39.
Adaptive leadership,
you got about 4 minutes left to go.
Conflict management.
And it's Briarcliff 16, William Penn 15
as little
in
as
the
12
first.
months. Part-time options are also available, allowing for flexibility. Discover the MBA difference. Visit dwu.edu to learn more.
If you're thinking about buying land, think about financing it with Farm Credit Services of America. Not only do we deliver attractive rates and ag-friendly terms, we deliver ownership, a voice in how we work, and a share of what we earn in the form of cash-back dividends. When it comes to financing real estate, you'll find more reasons to land with us. Call Farm Credit Services of America at 1-800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here. Equal housing lender.
Welcome back inside the Blarney's broadcast booth. Blarney's, where your game is always on. Daily food and drink specials every day, 4 to 7 on those drink specials. Blarney's, where your game is always on, and that includes NFL Sunday Ticket tomorrow. Shook has the basketball, gives it off to Whitler as we come out of that break. Dakota Wesleyan with it. Shook takes the 3, misses off the back of the handle. Fighting for the rebound as Mason Larson gets the extra possession for Dakota Wesleyan. 4:40 left the score as we reset. 58 for Dakota Wesleyan, Dakota State at 43. Schultz to Shook, back to Schultz on the left side. A lot of foul trouble today for Dakota Wesleyan, and it ultimately hasn't mattered. Off the glass, Shook fires and misses, Ladding with the rebound. Berto Gittens fouled out for Dakota State with 8 minutes and 52 left. Nielsen backing up, thinking he's Steph Curry with that deep 3, and he missed. You can't back up and miss that one. You got to make it. That's the rule.
Yeah, you know where that shot's going. You know if you're going to make it or not. Crash the board. Try to get your own rebound.
Well, clearly he didn't know where it was going. He thought it was going in the hoop. That's why he backed up like that. Schultz with the three-pointer. He missed. You know, that's a lap. That's actually 2 laps, but they continue to play either way. Under 4 minutes left, and Nielsen with the basketball. 58-43. Dakota State trailing Dakota Wesleyan by 15 points. Ladding takes the ball in the post, one-on-one against Shook, and a walk. Ladding cannot get anything against Jeffrey Shook today.
Jake, sometimes you can't buy a bucket, and that's Ladding today. He is struggling to even try to get the ball, let alone try to make anything happen.
Just about every time he's got the basketball, well, it's gone the other way with a foul, a travel, whatever it's been. Scott Supply timeout taken, and we will take it with them here on KMIT 105.9 back in 60 seconds.
In today's world, it's important to choose a bank that serves your financial needs and shares your personal values. This is Bank West Regional President Ryan Huber. Whether we're helping a child manage their first savings account or a business owner grow their company, our advice is always based on what's best for each individual customer. If you're looking for reliable financial solutions and hometown values, we'd love to be your bank. Bank West, convenient, connected, committed.
Are you ready to give your Wi-Fi a boost? Introducing the all-new Wi-Fi 6 from Mitchell Telecom. Enjoy 400 megabits per second up and 400 down just for upgrading to Wi-Fi 6, which also gives you a larger Wi-Fi footprint, connects the most devices, and gives you more consistent speed. Wi-Fi 6 is the latest and greatest internet technology from your friends at Mitchell Telecom. Wi-Fi 6 now available with our Elite Broadband Experience and Flex Pack bundles. Call 990-1000 today or go to mitchelltelecom.com to get your Wi-Fi 6 fix.
Give you some Wild Oak Great Life Fitness score updates from around the GPAC. On the men's side, first half action, Briarcliff leads number 3 William Penn 16-15 early on in the first half. And on the women's side, Hastings running over Mount Marty 60-39 in the second half. Well, bench points, Kate, pretty good today, but mostly coming from one guy. All coming from one guy.
Yep, Ace Zor, 11 points, 11 bench points, Jake.
And as we say that, Ace Zor gets another 2, so make it 13 bench points for Ace.
And on the opposite side, Dakota State, 1 bench point.
And who might that be?
You know, I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. No, I set you up.
I know you did, and I failed.
I set you up. It was Jade Burma.
All right, thank you, Jake. This
That's
is why you're
true.
here.
No, it's not true. It's Deshaun Kelly.
Well, you failed to.
60-43, 3:12 left in the second half. 17-point disadvantage for Dakota State. They are at the line with Ronnie Ladding. Third foul comes against Ace Zor. First free throw good by Ladding.
Ladding in that game against Sioux Falls University had 20 points. He's held to just 5.
Yeah, he hasn't done too much. He gets his second shot in. And he's actually at, 6 points. So he gets both to go. 60-45. Schultz basketball for Dakota Wesleyan. Over to the right side. Colin Oppold with 27 points in this game. That leads all scorers by a wide margin. Maxwell Nielsen with 17. Turnover for Dakota Wesleyan back to state. 2:49 left in the second half.
You had 2 players coming from 2 opposite corners running along that baseline with Schultz and Zor, and that ball went right in between the both of them.
Yeah, I'm looking up here as a broadcaster, not too worried about that because for the most part this game is decided. But you see down on the coach's bench, Coach Wilbur looking ahead to Mount Marty on Tuesday, Friday, Saturday games, conference after that. It's the little things, and it's the little things late in the game. You got to be worried about everything. And so Dakota State comes back, fires from 3, makes it. So a turnover, and just like that, Morales has a chance to cut it to single digits. Look out left side, catch and shoot. Simons wants another 3. It's good, single digits, and that's what a turnover can do. As we say that, the little things matter late in the game. 2:19 left. It's a 3-possession game and a timeout taken. 2:19 left in the second half. We're back in 60 on KMIT.
Your vehicle deserves expert care from the people who know it better than anyone else. At Iverson Auto, they're factory-trained technicians.
score. And we had a ball go out of bounds. And some players running into the bench, knock some chairs over. Mason Larson inbounding, 9-point lead for Dakota Wesleyan after back-to-back 3 balls as Jordan Lind jumps over the chairs, knocking that ball out of bounds. You see the deny defense.
This is great defense, Jake. It just needed to happen a little bit sooner.
Yeah, well, here you are, down 9, 2 minutes left. And you mentioned over the break that press now starting to work. Yeah, why didn't they do it earlier?
Yeah, they got a turnover, got a 3 off of it. That was a nice press, and it looked nice, and it caused confusion for DWU. Why didn't it get implemented a little bit sooner in the game?
Schultz was fouled on that deny, so he gets to the free throw line and makes his first. Has one more, 61-51. Second shot, good. Dakota State basketball, Nielsen gives it back to Simons. He's hit back-to-back 3s. Up to 12 points in the game for him. Lynn tries a 3, no good. Morales comes up with the rebound, and a foul called against Dakota Wesleyan. It is number 11 on the Tigers, and that's Nick Whitler's 5th. He's out of the game. Puts Morales at the free throw line, stops the clock at 1 minute, 55 seconds. Shook comes in for Dakota Wesleyan.
When you have a game like this, you got to make sure that you keep your foot on the gas the entire way. Dakota State, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, they were down 15.
Yeah.
And then 2 3-pointers, and it all started with the turnover down on Dakota Wesleyan's side. That I said, don't worry too much about that. But you see Coach Wilbur, he was pretty upset over the inattention to detail on that play, and then it carried over in a turnover on the next play down as well. Back-to-back 3s, giving Simons some open looks from distance. And here comes the press again for Dakota State. Down to 10 after a 1 of 2 free throw trip, 62-52. Oppold has the basketball. He's double teamed, fires over right side, then to Shook. Left open for 3. Shook doesn't want anything there. Schultz guarded by Morales. He gets a screen far sideline. Shook at the wing, backs up, had the open 3, passed it up again. Shot clock down to 3 seconds. Oppold step back at the buzzer, misses off the front of the iron. Zor throws it behind his back. Nobody was there. They were all coming back on defense. Zor hustles. Everyone else leaves it open. And on the other end, what do you get? Simons gets the 3 ball. Well, one player hustled for Dakota Wesleyan on that play, and that is why this game is back down to 7 points, 62-55, 1:12 left in the second period, and we are back in 60 seconds on KMIT.
Hello, Tiger fans. This is DW
Hey, sorry, Amy, I called for a
John
60
Hart.
on that last
Despite
break,
the
so I was
challenges
confused
we
when I
have
didn't hear anything.
faced year, our programs have exceeded
we played a
expectations
60,
in and
and
out
I,
of the class.
I was trying to talk to you, but you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't hear you, and I couldn't hear ads either. There was nothing.
Time to join as a corporate partner
Yeah, we played a 60. You can hear me now, though, right?
I can, yeah. I must not have been an OL.
Incentives such as season tickets,
it was an
apparel,
OL. I don't know
and
what the hell is
exclusive
going on.
access to private events. For more information,
But
visit
anyway,
our
I'm glad
website
it's
at
back working now.
dwathletics.com or call me, John Hart, at 605-995-2898. Thank you, and go Tigers.
Farming isn't just your livelihood, it's your life. No one understands that better than Farm Bureau Financial Services. As the #1 ag insurer in our territory, they offer comprehensive coverage that protects your farm, your machinery, your livestock, and so much more. With customized policy with 1 premium and 1 deductible, you can count on Farm Bureau agents Rocky Neuenhaus in Corsica to help protect what matters most. Now that's smarter insurance for agriculture. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Back here in the Blarney's broadcast booth, Dakota Wesleyan all of a sudden in a battle here, down by 7 points is Dakota State, and Sawyer Schultz is fouled. Foul comes against number 0, that's Morales. 1:07 left in the second half, and Dakota State has hit 3-pointers thanks to Jackson Simons, and they're right back in this game. They trailed by 15 with about 3 minutes left to go, under 3 minutes, and with just over a minute left, it's down to 7 points. Schultz comes out. He's got some blood on his left elbow, so they have to wait for him to get that cleaned up with a towel to come back out onto the court. And we have a timeout taken by Dakota Wesleyan to try to figure that out. I think they have to get a Band-Aid on him. We'll keep it right here, 62-55 the score, and what a change in the game, a turnaround of 8 points for Dakota State. One team, remember, there was still 2.5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah. I want to go back to that last play, Jake, of Ace Zor hustling to try to get that ball and save it. Everyone else retreated, and unfortunately that's what happens. If you have one player hustling and no one else is there to help, why should that player hustle? Becomes the mentality after so long. You got to have everyone hustling, being there, helping each other out, because that's what a team's all about. You can't have one guy trying to do everything and hustling. You all got to chip in together and make it work.
Well, I think everyone had given up on the ball, and they saw his opportunity to go get it. He threw it behind his back. It was in play, and it went to a Dakota State player because they were the 4 players back there. Out of the timeout, Sawyer Schultz has 2 free throws. 55 points for Dakota State, trailing by 7, 62 for Dakota Wesleyan. First free throw made by Schultz. You see Dakota State continue to run with the smaller lineup. Why? Shooting. They need that distance shooting. So just one post with Ronnie Ladding out there. Lamar Wood's been on the bench for since 8:52 left when Berto Gittins checked out. And, just shortly after that, Morales came in for Lamar Wood. Ball knocked out of bounds. It was last touched by Sawyer Schultz. Close one there. Morales will inbound for Dakota State. 1 minute left, and it's a 9-point lead for Dakota Wesleyan.
You bring up that Ladding's still on the court. He's done a good job of preventing getting that 5th foul, playing smarter defense, and setting nice screens.
Let's open up some players. Nielsen has it on the right wing, misses. Backside rebound for Larson. Dakota Wesleyan with the basketball. Zor takes a long pass from Schultz and fouls out Ladding in the process. That's number 5. And 2 shots for Ace Zor. 49 seconds left, 64-55.
I may have jinxed Ladding on that one there, Jake.
Yeah, well, he went up and got the foul. Can't give up the points because that's an easy 2 buckets. So Lamar Wood comes back in as that single post look. Ladding fouls out, 6 points in the game, 4 rebounds, and those 5 fouls. 1 assist as well, was just 2 of 3 from the field, perfect from the line, 2 of 2. Never really got going offensively, never had the opportunity. He had Jeffrey Shook draw 3 offensive charges against him. Zor at the free throw stripe. First free throw is good. 49 seconds left, and that makes it a double-digit lead. Zor second in scoring, 14 points. And as mentioned, he's the only player off the bench to score for Dakota Wesleyan in this game.
Yeah, as his points go up, so do the bench points.
Just 5 players for the Tigers have scored in all. Mason Larson held scoreless up to this point as well. Lynn scores, and a foul picked up against Mason Larson. His 4th.
Yeah, Mason got beat on that one. Got in bad position, got the foul called.
Pardon me, that's his 5th. He is out of the game and fouls out for, that's what they said. No, okay, that was an incorrect score. I had him with 3, and he's at 4. 40 seconds left, 66-55. First free throw missed by Jordan Lynn. Dakota Wesleyan out of timeouts here, but with an 11-point lead and just 40 seconds on the clock. Second free throw by Lynn is made. Timeout taken by Garner after that make. It's a 10-point game, 66-56. On the board here on KMIT 105.9. We are back in 30 seconds.
How you move matters. Avera Orthopedics helps you move freely and live life to the fullest with innovative treatment options customized to your bone, muscle, and joint needs. Whether you suffer from aches, breaks, tears, or dislocations, turn to the orthopedic team experienced in treating every body. Learn more at avera.org/orthopedics.
Welcome back to the Blarney's broadcast booth. 66-56 the score. Dakota Wesleyan basketball. It was a full timeout taken. Wesleyan taking about 30 seconds of it, and Dakota State still in the break. Again, just 40 seconds left on the clock. And, well, it was a 15-point game. Looked like it was closeout time for Wesleyan, and then Dakota State got hot from 3, and Wesleyan started turning the ball over. Cut the lead to within 7 points. We're at 10 at the moment.
Well, not only the threes, Jake, but also the steals. Dakota State has 8 steals compared to Dakota Wesleyan's 3 steals. when you get steals, it can change the game.
Yeah, and without the game of Colin Oppold today, this is probably a loss for Dakota Wesleyan because just 5 players have scored. 15 points from Ace Zor, 27 from Oppold. That's a combined 42 of the 66 points have come from 2 players. Oppold inbounding. Full press. Overthrows Schultz. He chases it down. Zor with the stuff. And it's a 12-point game, 68-56.
Nice job by Schultz, realizing that he had nowhere to go with it.
Simons with a deep 3 on the wing. Back to a 9-point game, 26 seconds left. Schultz has the basketball, 3-on-1. And he waits for Nielsen to come and foul him. He takes the stripe.
That's Nielsen's first foul.
21 seconds left, 68-59. And a nice job by Schultz. He could have thrown it ahead for 2 more, but it takes a couple of seconds off the clock. Makes on the first. He has 10 points in the game. His 3rd game back. First game out was 3 points. We have 7 points in the 2nd game and then 10 in this one. Second free throw's missed. Larson gives it back to Schultz. Shot clock is off, and it appears Dakota State will let the clock run out. So 69-59 would be our final here if it goes final at that. Dakota Wesleyan breaks a 4-game losing streak, and again, a 10-point lead, 69-59, the final. Wesleyan improves to 3-4 on the season. They're back into conference play against Mount Marty next week on Tuesday. Just 1 game there, and that tip-off, I believe, actually at 7 o'clock is what time it will be. And we will take a 2-minute break, come back with the Dice Financial postgame show here on KMIT.
You should know where your money is going, not wonder where it went. Hi, this is Mike LeBrun from Dice Financial Services Group. Wise investing can help decrease your taxes. Put the
Would you
tax
like the
laws to work
scores?
for you by letting Dice Financial help you devise a solid
What?
retirement plan.
Yep, what's up?